Hello everyone, it's Kevin. Today it's Print and Paint episode 22. I'm on my mini factory. I'm doing Akali KDA. I've done Evelyn a while ago, so today I'm doing another one. The model is from Printed Obsession, so let's go. Okay, so let's go quickly on the support. Here I'm trying to fit those three parts on one build plate. I angle them differently, try to go angle on the back as well. I use a lot of heavy support at the bottom. I'm not gonna see all of those parts, so that's okay. And then behind I'm trying to find the island and to give some structure as well. You don't want like all your support only on one side of the model. You want to make sure everything is like holding up together. Trying to find some sneaky part here, like the tip of the fingers and stuff like this. But those ones were pretty easy to support. They are not like crazy figures or anything, so that's good. That's what I got at the end. Here I'm doing the legs, really easy. And the base, obviously. Okay, so all the prints are done. Let's see what I got. Here I have the head and hair. Everything was fine. I've put them together already. I filled the gap in between. I'm gonna keep it separate for the painting process. It's gonna help me a lot. The torso and the legs. So what I had here. First my fingers, the support were a bit too thin and the finger were a bit flat in some parts. So I've put some resin and tried to give the shape back. Everything is looking fine. I think that's a good fix. There was a printing line here in the middle from the Feb tension probably due to the angle of the torso. So I've put some resin again, sand it, and right now the line is gone. And last but not least, the two legs, I filled the gap with milliput, I've put some resin, and I'm gonna have to sand it right now. Everything should be okay. And last thing was the base. I flattened everything, it's gonna make the time easier for me to glue on top. Everything was a bit off, so it'll be fine. Quick fix as well. And that's fine. I've done Evelyn before, I kinda know where I'm going when I'm gonna paint. So let's go. Okay, so after priming, as you can see, that's a bright prime. I've started with black, but then I used a lot of white to make sure all my color had a good cover. I apply some base coat on the pants and the jacket. Then I'm trying to tone down the whole thing with some black wash and try to find some volume, some recess. I come back later on with some black paint on the brush and try to define some shadows. You can see on the hat here and in between those bumps in the jacket as well. And then I start to add some volume with dry brushing. So I went with some brighter color, but really slowly. I had like 3 different type of color to go step by step. And I go like on the top of the legs, the knees, behind the calf and everything. Just try to add some volume in some nice part really slowly. I'm doing the same on the jacket. This time taking the same purple of the jacket. And when everything was done, I've used some black. So the black, as you can see, is so small line, the folding line of the pants. I go over with a really bright purple this time and I try to redefine the edge highlight of those folds. The pants don't have much detail, so adding those were really nice to just add a couple of details on top. Here I'm doing some part of the shoes, but they're white. I had to redo them after. Here doing the side of the hat and the top. And exactly the same process for the jacket using the different purple this time, the same as the base coat. Here I'm trying to define the light coming from the top, so I'm doing every bump here on the jacket. I went with 2 different colors and tried to highlight them from the top. When I was done, I apply my base coat for the skin. And here one of the mistakes that I made, I decided to use the wash. I was like, okay, let's use it, try to find the recess and see what kind of style it's gonna get. But as you can see, it's really like dirty looking. And it's a bit messy, it's all over the place. The wash didn't do a great job here. So I try to dry brush and see what I get, but obviously you can always see the darker part of the wash from under, so I decide, okay, let's scrap the whole thing. I'm just gonna redo my base coat. So I went back with some skin tone a bit different this time, and I redone the entire skin. And then from this point I dry brushed lighter and lighter to define my volume. I could have went a bit darker with the second base coat of skin, I think, but that's okay. When you look at it from a nice light, you can see the definition between the muscle and everything. So I'm dry brushing over, and when I was done, I went back with my brush and my darker skin tone, and I redefined a lot of shadows and edges. Here it's looking a bit messy in some parts, so I went back with the skin tone and tried to smooth everything out. Right now I'm back on those shoes, and I'm doing the white part. Same for the top here. So what I did, I started with an off-white to try to get some base coat cover, because it's always hard to cover anything with white. So starting off white was nice, and you can give some volume as well. And then with just pure white I went over and over and defined some volume and some edges on the white. Here same for the gold, there is a lot of gold on this part. I use metallic gold, and I darkened my first gold and I went with a brighter one later. It's hard to define some highlight on metallic paint, but it worked a little bit, was fine. Here doing my eyes, there is quite a lot of space, they are quite big, so it was nice. I was able to do my blue and the purple in black. Later on I went back and refined some shadows inside the white and applied the makeup on top of the eyes. Here I darkened the hair with the black, and I went back over with the base coat and dry brush slowly with brighter and brighter color until it's kind of pinkish, as you can see here. And here I'm just taking some random color from my palette, apply on my pin at the bottom and try to find where I'm gonna drill, and that's it. Okay, so that's it for Akali. I'm finally done with the figure. This one gave me a little bit more trouble than I was expecting. A while ago I've done Evelyn already, and I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm like, okay, I've learned, I'm gonna improve, and when I'm gonna do Akali I'm gonna be a bit faster, a bit better. And sadly I've done some of the same mistake that I've done before, which is a bit sad. And I kind of forget the time you have to spend on a taller figure as well, so I've managed to finish a good result and I'm happy. And it's really similar the way Evelyn is, so that's great, they're gonna go well together. But I was just more confident about myself. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna nail it, I know what I have to do, and in the end it was not really what happened. So it's still good. I'm still learning a lot of things, and I might do Kaisa or Ari. I still have 2 more to go, I guess. When you start the group you have to finish, so that's what's gonna happen probably in the next couple of weeks. If you enjoyed, leave a like, tell me a comment, subscribe if you want some more, and see you next week.